Jaja and Rich. We got Jonas Brothers tickets to give away today, every single day this week. You got to keep listening. We'll give you all the details. Kyle, what are 3 things we need to know?
Sometimes you're at work and you just need a coffee, right? For whatever reason it is. They say you should probably avoid the coffee at your office. The coffee machines in most office break rooms could actually be pumping your body full of compounds that boost your cholesterol levels, potentially increasing your cardiovascular risk over time. I guess most workplace coffee machines contain higher levels of those cholesterol-raising compounds because they use metal filters. So if you're concerned about this, they say switch to the paper filters. That'll help. Now, thanks to a partnership announced last week between DoorDash and Klarna, customers can now buy a burrito or McDonald's and pay for it later across 4 interest-free payments. The deal provides diners who spend at least $35 more flexibility, but experts are saying if you miss a payment, you start getting multiple late fees, and it could end up being a very expensive Big Mac or whatever you ordered. So we talked about this a little bit on air, but off air quite a bit. The chubby filter on TikTok that went viral last week used AI to make it appear as though you gained a lot of weight, giving a full body before and after. It caused a lot of chatter, and now, because of that, it's been banned from TikTok. They completely took it off. Experts warned it was creating toxic online culture and could contribute to toxic diet culture. As a result, TikTok was like, listen, we're not going to deal with this. We're just going to ban the filter altogether. It's gone.
Is that the one I did?
Yep.
Oh, good. You could see it. It's still, before they banned it, but it's still on my Instagram. That's
right. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Let's see. Do you guys recognize this song? Hold on. Season finale of Severance.
Yes.
Did you watch it, Kyle?
No, I'm not. I haven't caught up yet. I'm still watching Dexter.
You're still 2009.
I'm committed.
Dexter that you've already seen before.
Yes.
Just real quick. So the season finale of season 2 of Severance was Friday. And I will tell you this. I watched the interview with Gemma, the wife, right? And blew my mind. You know why?
Why?
Because she's all, hello.
No.
Is she really?
Hello, yes. Shooting Severance was a tough one. And I'm like, what the hell?
I actually thought about watching it, but then you've complained about it all season, and I'm like,
well, I'll tell you.
We'll see what he thinks about the ending, because I think season 1 was very until the final episode.
Same. I skipped the last 2 episodes and watched the finale.
You're probably fine.
My son Kemp said you're fine. I did, and I thought it was great. I watched it. I mean, I thought it was great. If I really analyze it, I have problems with the very end. It's stupid, but
yeah, I have a lot of problems with it too. But the best way for me to describe it is like, remember the movie Get Out? Mm-hmm. It's like if Get Out were The Office, and now you've got Severance. So there's parts of your life you don't remember. There's parts of it you do. And they kind of explain it, but I have so many. They brought me down so many rabbit trails that they didn't really wrap up.
But does it set up for like a season 3, or does it wrap up the story?
It wraps up one story, but there's a couple other that are kind of dangling out there that you kind of want to know what's going on.
It's Get Out without the racism.
Yeah,
because
right.
The Get Out was like, it was all about horrible racism.
Non-racist Get Out meets The Office.
Okay.
Interesting.
Another show that I saw, and I finished it last night, and I've been on the fence about it, but I think, Kyle, you should watch it, is Long Bright River. It's on Peacock, and it's about a serial killer. And I finished it last night, and there was a point during the last couple of days where I couldn't stop. It consumed my mind, and it was a whodunit. And I finished it, and it's worth it. So I recommend it. I don't highly recommend it. I feel like I need you to see it so we could talk about it. So I need you to finish Dexter.
Okay.
So sometime
I'm on season 6
next February.
I need you to finish Severance because you're the one who talked us all into it.
I know.
Like you hard sold that for months.
I know. There's a very few shows that you started and I finished before you. There are many shows that I've started, tell you about it, and you finish it before me. But yeah, so anyway.
You guys, Dexter's just so good. I can't.
But you've seen
look
it.
Away. I know, but it's like I'm watching it again for the first time because it's been so long since I watched it the first time. Like little things happen, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. But then I don't know where the story's going. I totally forget. There's been so many shows in between then that my mind has sort of like pushed it out of the memory bank. But it's I highly recommend going back and watching Dexter if you already watched it the first time and a second time, or if you never watched it at all.
Peyton's predictions. What's the vibe today, Peyton?
I'm going to tell you how your sign handles drama.
All right, call us right now to get your sign read. 877-937-1047. Tomas, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Aries here.
Okay, Aries, you guys thrive in drama. If it is going down, you are either starting or finishing it. You don't do petty, you just do full-blown explosions. Your block list is probably stacked, and your response to conflict is immediate. You don't overthink, you're just vibes and fire.
That's very true, and that's a good start to my Monday morning. Thank you for that.
All right, Tomas, drive safe, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, have a good one.
What's up, Mike?
Good morning, Virgos here.
Okay, Mike and John Jay, Virgos, when it comes to drama, you try to stay out of it, but if you have to get involved, you do come prepared with a full presentation on why you were right. If you have drama with somebody, it's already analyzed, categorized, and archived for future reference.
Exactly. Called it once again.
Yep.
Mike, thanks for calling in, dude.
Have a blessed day.
You too. How about Libras?
Kyle, you act like you hate drama, but you low-key love watching it all unfold. You're the one that's texting your friend like, OMG, tell me everything, and low-key stirring the pot without getting caught. But when drama actually finds you, you just like ghost people and then reappear when it's safe.
I don't know. Maybe I'm with my sun sign on the drama.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
I do like watching the drama unfold, but like when it hits me, I usually just like face it head on.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So maybe the first part, not the second.
Yeah.
She does handle it head on. Believe me. All right, what about for Pisces, for Rich?
Yeah, Rich, for Pisces, drama actually stresses you out, but you always get dragged into it because you accidentally picked the wrong side. You try to fix things, you cry about it later, and then you write like a sad playlist about the whole situation.
There's nothing about that's not 100%.
How about for you, for Leos?
Well, Leos, we give main character energy, and if drama is happening, it's just our show now. We're either dramatically storming out, making this huge speech, or acting completely unbothered, even though we absolutely love the attention.
Okay. If we didn't get to your sign, they're all posted on our website, johnjaneRich.com. Our text line, you text JJR and whatever's on your mind to 96893. We just got a text right now. And I'm going to read the text, but I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up on the air or not today. But it says, it's from a 480 number. John Jay, can you please talk about the murder in your neighborhood? Please don't call me back. I'm working and not able to talk on the phone today. But have a fabulous day. Yeah, there was a murder in my neighborhood Friday.
Just so wild.
So wild. So wild. So there was a murder in my neighborhood. It's all over the news. It was about very close to my house. And my wife and my mother-in-law had just walked by the murder scene within 5 minutes.
Jeez.
See, that's too close to home. That's
I know.
too close.
I know. And it's hard to talk about because as the story's unfolded and I've heard the whole story, it's like there's two kids involved.
Yeah.
Not involved, but like there's a son that goes to school with my son and there's a daughter that goes to school. So it's like, I don't feel like I should talk about it. You know what I mean? But
right.
it was pretty brutal. And but what happened, one of the things that happened with me, if you saw on my Instagram, Blake was telling me how the street was shut down and I didn't get home till, I don't know, almost 2. So I thought I was going to drive down to get home and I see all these camera crews set up like you've seen a documentary of like every news station is reporting from the neighborhood and I roll down the window and there's the camera crew. You guys see that video that the guy, they're asking me stuff, right? Like that. And then the guy goes, hey, this will be we can't get anyone to talk to us. He said, will you talk to us? I'm like, sure. And then he tells me it'll run at 4, it'll run at 5, and it'll run at 6. I didn't tell the guy what I did for a living. I don't know if you guys saw that part where he's like, what's your name? Right? So I tell my name, right? So when I watched the news story at 4, the guy goes, they go, radio personality, John J. Van Ness lives in the neighborhood. And I was like, oh, okay. So they figured out what I did. Then at 5 o'clock, they didn't run me at all. And I thought, maybe what I said sucked. Then at 6 o'clock, they ran like the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, oh man, I wonder what. But the 5 o'clock story was more. They had more information, and it was anyway. So you could Google the story and find it, but I don't want to say anything. But it did happen in my neighborhood.
Other than like, is everyone in your neighborhood feel settled, like and safe again?
I don't know, because one of the things too is like the guy that was killed. This isn't going to sound too crazy coming from me, but I've never seen him before. And the guy that shot him, I've never seen him before. And all the other TV stations were talking to neighbors, never seen them before. But I don't talk to my neighbors.
Right.
So I'm sure my wife knows them all. So I don't know. But isn't that wild? There's a murder in my neighborhood?
Yeah, especially when you're seeing all the police activity and everything roped off and all that afterwards.
Yeah.
Right down the street from you. Got to feel weird.
It was really weird. Really weird. And you can't help but drive by there now and go, oh, that's where the guy was lying. That's whatever.
Yeah, there's a house in my brother's neighborhood, probably 10 houses down from his house, where there was also a murder, and it was pretty gruesome, the story. And it's like every time you drive by there, and like he lives in a nice gated neighborhood, like it's the bad stuff happens everywhere, right? But every time you drive by there, it's like, oh, that's where that happened. It's like you'll never be able to rid of it.
So crazy. Also, big news this weekend, or this last couple weeks, is spring training. The spring training games. And I saw that Kyle was at one over the weekend. Peyton was at one with Nick. So let's get into. So Peyton, what happened to you at the spring training game, and how was it?
Yeah, so Nick and I, it was a fun game. Nick and I went to the spring training game. It was kind of like a little get together that we had as the company. So we all were out there.
I wish I would have known.
Yeah.
There were only 8,000 emails about it.
I know. Me and Nick, we decided we were going to go and kind of just go hang out for like an hour or so or whatever. It was a pretty warm day. So we're walking over to where the area is where everyone's at. So we're like, okay, well, let's just grab a drink at one of these little bar kiosk areas, right? So we're going to grab a drink, and it's me and Nick, and we get ID'd. And Nick is like, heck yeah, I'm getting ID'd. I love it, right? He like thought it was a compliment. And me, on the other hand, I give the guy my ID, and he looks at me. He looks me up and down. He's like, why does your ID look a lot older than you do? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I'm just lucky. Genetics. I don't know. Rebrand. Like in my driver's license, my hair is straight. And so I think I do look a little bit older when my hair is straightened. But I think I looked the same. And he was really looking at my ID. And he like handed it back to me and was like, And like his attitude was like he was doing me a favor. And it was getting to a point where I was like, sir, I'm 26-year-old. I am flattered that you think that my ID is fake, but give me my vodka cran.
You're like, not to the point where it's like a compliment. It's just like an inconvenience.
No, totally. I was like, I just want to have my drink. Like, thank you, but no.
How about you, Kyle? How was your spring training game?
It was really fun. So you guys, I've told you that my dad's been in town, right? And we went with my dad and my two sisters and all the kids. And it was funny because I got my kids out of school early. I feel like things like this, like when my dad's in town, we don't get to see him very often. Like, forget school. Let's go.
100%. What do they call your dad? Is he Grandpa?
He's Doodle.
Doodle. Okay.
Yeah. So like my dad and my stepmom is Doodle and BB. So we went to the game with them. And it was funny because Addie, my daughter, had made it a point to bring a baseball because it was her mission to get it signed by a player. Didn't care who, just signed by a player. And so after, in the spring training games afterwards, every once in a while, one or two of the players will stay and actually sign balls for kids. And she literally, she walked over to the dugout. They told her that she couldn't go in that specific spot, and she noticed everyone rushing to the other side of the field. She's like, Mom, can I go? I'm like, go. She ran over by herself, made her way through the crowd of people up to the front, and got her ball signed.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like,
what a rock star.
I had a little bit of a heart attack because for a second I lost her. I was like, oh my God, this is how it ends. But she popped up and I see her face so excited that she got this signature, right? She comes up and my aunt's there and she goes, you got a signature. Who was it? And Addie goes, I don't know.
I love it. She's just there for vibes and a good time.
Yeah. So my aunt's husband was there, and he's in the organization. He's in the Rockies organization, and I show him the video of her getting it signed, and he's like, oh yeah, that's Seth Halverson. He's a pitcher. He's a good guy. And I was like, okay, at least now you know.
Way to go, Seth.
Way to go, Seth. I know, and he was the only player that stuck around. It was so nice to the kids. So that was a cool moment for her. I think it's one of those core memories that she'll always remember.
I like that Seth Halverson that he did that. I hope he becomes a massive star if he's not already, because I don't really follow baseball that much.
Yeah.
But way to go, Seth. What a cool name, too, Halverson.
Yeah.
Seth Halverson. It is time for Stacks and Hacks. We also got Spring Break Bus coming up. Spring Break Bus, in less than 10 minutes. So the Earth's population now, they say, is around 8.2 billion people, but a study in Finland found we might be undercounting rural populations by a lot. They didn't give a number, but there might be billions more people than we originally thought.
Billions
more? That's crazy. Can I get this? A 20-year-old man is suing United Airlines after a pilot opened the bathroom door and yanked him out for taking too long. He'd been in there 30 minutes. He told him through the door he was constipated. He says his pants were still around his ankles. The pilot flung the door open and threw him out.
That's humiliating.
Terrible. But he was in there too long. I guess everyone was waiting. But still. A nutritionist has this diet that's going viral. It's called Eat Like a Baby Diet. It's got 3 main parts. Eat small, healthy meals or snacks every 2 to 4 hours. Eat slowly to give yourself time to feel full. And avoid mindless munching. Mindless munching is my whole day.
Isn't that the opposite of fasting? If you're eating every 2 to 3 hours, that's a lot.
A group of researchers claim they found, and I saw pictures of this, and my son Jake brought this up to me yesterday. A group of researchers claim they found a massive city and huge vertical shafts buried under the pyramids of Egypt.
Heck yeah.
Experts are very skeptical about it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen the imagery. In fact, I went very deep down this rabbit hole, which means the short version is they think that the pyramids might have been like producing electricity, not burial tombs at all, but like working the Nile River for electricity for the whole town.
Which even backs up more that aliens built them.
Somebody.
Kyle's a millennial, and Nick back there is a millennial. Oh, and Grant's a millennial. Grant, you're a millennial, right? Yeah, okay. New relationship poll claims millennials care more about good bedroom chemistry than having similar hobbies, lifestyles, or political views. Thoughts?
I guess maybe. Because, like, you can do your hobbies by yourself. That could be, like, I think every couple kind of needs their own things. But you got to do that together in the bedroom.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel pretty, I think it's more important that you have things in common to talk about.
But that's, like,
outside
not
the bedroom,
hobbies
guys.
and, like, that's not what, I guess you need, I don't know. You got to have good communication all around.
You don't need any communication, guys. Just go home and stare at a wall. It's fine.
A 24-year-old guy in Australia got arrested for buying a small amount of plutonium online. His lawyer says he's just a science nerd with a weird hobby. He wanted to collect all the elements on the periodic table. I think you should get arrested for selling plutonium.
For
right?
sure.
I didn't know that was illegal, but all I know about plutonium is it's always something that's in a movie where they're going to kill the world. The average $1 bill has 3,000 different types of bacteria on it. Think about that. Billy Ray Cyrus, Miley's dad, dropped a new song, and there's a little controversy over it because people say it sucks. Has anyone heard the song?
No.
Well, you're in luck because I have it.
Oh, goody.
I have the whole thing.
If you're lost, just ask. You know the future ain't the past. Buckle up and hit the gas. Won't get there looking back. So if you're lost, just ask.
It sounds very country to me. That's his genre.
Snow White won the box office this weekend with a disappointing $43 million, they say.
But then I saw that was like the second biggest opening this year.
I don't know, but they said it was disappointing. Maybe they were expected to be a lot better. Anybody watch American Idol last night? There's something cool in American Idol. A 19-year-old girl shows up to sing, and her mom, her aunt, and her grandfather all had #1 songs. Did you see this?
Yes,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
Yeah.
So she auditioned with her mom and her aunt.
That's cute.
And Carrie Underwood, I like the way Carrie Underwood kind of freaked out.
I know this pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? No one can change your life except for you. Don't ever let anyone step all over you. Just open your heart and your mind. Is it really fair to feel this way inside?
Bring it home.
Oh,
Someday somebody's gonna turn around and make it right.
until then, baby, are you gonna?
Her aunt is Wendy, who was in Wilson Phillips, and her mom is Carney, who's in Wilson Phillips, and they had her own TV show for a while. And her dad, her grandpa was in the Beach Brothers. Beach Brothers? Beach Boys.
I thought he was in the Mamas and the Papas.
Beach Brothers are when the Jonas Brothers go to the beach.
The Beach Brother. Mamas and the Papas, I think he was in.
I don't know. It was Brian Wilson. Was
Oh,
he? He's in the
yeah,
Beach
yeah,
Boys.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Beach Boys.
Rich, what do you got for life hacks?
Okay, so scientists have come together. Actually, doctors, not scientists, come together, and they're like, there's some hacks that sound stupid that maybe even your mom told you, but you should definitely take into account for the rest of your life. A quick 2 for you. Medicine works better if you just take it with room temperature water as opposed to cold water. Cold water makes it almost ineffective. Did you know that? I didn't even know that. Here's another one. If you answer your phone, you're better off answering it from your left ear than your right ear, because you will understand what's happening better when you hear things from your left ear than your right ear. I didn't know that either, but those life hacks have been confirmed by medical science doctors. Those life hacks at johnjaneRich.com.
I try to answer my phone on speakerphone because I'm afraid of brain cancer.
Well, that's probably even a better idea.
Yeah. John, Jane, Rich. Miss Sherelle, good morning.
Good morning. I have a comment about maybe why that gentleman's upset with his wife for his birthday.
Okay.
Because some women give their husbands special gifts only on their birthday and Christmas, and he didn't get that special gift, if you know what I'm saying.
How do we not sniff that out?
Sexual.
How do we miss that, Michelle?
Because he doesn't want to talk about it on the radio, and that might be something she does for him every birthday, and he didn't get that this year.
You know, it was my wife's birthday yesterday, and she did not want that from her before her birthday. I was trying.
Ladies who don't want that or give that, I'm so sad for them.
All right, thanks for calling in.
That definitely will put a guy in a bad mood.
Johnny, good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Just cruising to Phoenix right now, headed to work.
All right, man. From where?
From Blythe, California.
All right. Right on, man. Well, thanks for listening. What's going on?
Oh, no, I was listening to that story about that David fella and on his birthday. I think the guy is pretty. I mean, he was probably appreciated on what he got, as in balloons and his cake and all. But he was probably looking forward for something else when he got home from his wife. And I mean, that's pretty much. He probably don't want to talk on the radio for the fact that it's probably something rated R.
Yeah.
Well, we clearly missed that, didn't we?
Yeah,
we
did.
really missed that.
None of us were thinking that at all.
Yeah, because I think, you get your gifts and all, and a lot of times when you're getting a little older or whatnot, and the gift doesn't really matter, and what really matters is,
love,
the late
Connection,
dinner, and
yes.
movie, and what happens after that.
No,
Netflix.
You're right, and that explains the kind of crappy mood he was in too.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah, because some people just don't want to talk about it, and some people will if they're all open or whatnot. But
It's a quick
this
fix.
guy, yeah. You know what? With the late night movie, some popcorn, and a little bit of different type of kiss would have been perfect.
All right, Johnny. Thanks for calling in.
All righty, you guys have a good one.
You too. I totally brain farted on that. I can't believe the four of us, especially me, missing out on something like that. Sexual.
Yeah, but like,
What?
that's like, you're such a baby if you're going to make such a big deal about just
About not
that.
getting any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a tradition in their house.
It
Every
could be.
birthday.
You know what? You're right.
Think
It
about
could
this.
be.
Let's say your husband, Kyle, is furious today and you don't know why. Because we all know every Sunday you guys do it. What if it didn't happen yesterday for whatever reason? He'd be like, and you're like, what's wrong with you?
The fact that can just like adjust and shift your mood so much, though, is crazy.
It is, and it's also incredibly accurate. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to share this text exchange that happened on Friday with my wife. Let me see if I can find it. Because I thought I was on the fence about sharing it, but then I thought it was too damn good. So here's what happened. She leaves notes for herself. I'm sure it's very common because she'll get up and she'll be like, take the dogs to the groomer or whatever. And she leaves little notes like that. And I can't remember what the note was she left on Friday morning by her stuff. And it was upstairs in our bathroom. And it was like, let's just say it was take the dogs to the groomer. I took the note. I wrote on there, husband's going to bend me over. That's what I wrote.
Oh my God.
That's what I wrote.
John J.
Okay. So then I go downstairs. Like I have my whole routine and I'm walking out the door and I grab my wallet. And on my wallet, there's a piece of paper. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I open it and it's a little love note from her. And she says, I'm looking forward to our date night tonight with a little heart on it. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I'm like, oh, God, she's going to read my note first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She's going to be like, ugh.
Nothing she probably doesn't already expect from you, though, John Jay.
Anyway, none of that happened, by the way. Although we did have a good fun date night. I went to the Suns game, and it was great. But, I mean, there was none of the... And she's like, I can't believe you left that note for me after you read my note. And I go, no. I wrote that first before I saw your note.
We just have a different way of communicating the same kind of love.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if she was mad or not, but I don't think she was. Although, there was no bending over. So, anyway, there's a lot of entertainment news to get to. But would you guys mind starting, Kyle, with Amanda Seyfried? And I'll tell you why.
Sure, yeah. Amanda Seyfried, she actually tried out for Wicked, and she tried out for Ariana Grande's role. And she said it was one of the most incredible experiences, even though she didn't get the part.
I've never felt that solid in my voice than I did at the auditions. And that's kind of what I got out of it. I do, again, think everything happens for a reason. I mean, that's beautiful. We listen to Defying Gravity every day.
I'm glad it's not ruined for you. I'm glad it's still a happy thing.
Oh my God. It's funny though, I also got to sing with Cynthia. And that was a moment in itself.
No.
So, one of the reasons I think she's doing press is because she's the star of that show I was telling you about on Peacock. And I know her from that show on Peacock, although she looks familiar. And I didn't Google her or anything, but it started hitting me when I saw this story in the news yesterday. I'm like, she sings? Then I remember, isn't she the Mamma Mia girl too?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, oh yeah.
She's Karen.
Well, here she's a cop solving a serial killer, and I don't see her as a singer. So I was kind of I was like, oh my God, wow. So, and then Wicked is also on Peacock.
Yeah, just
so
released.
I watched literally 3 minutes of it. I had to turn it off.
You have to get past
so good.
The first part is the worst part.
Okay, good. Thank God. Because I do trust, Kyle, your TV movie viewing and musical viewing. So I was like,
it's so funny because after we saw the movie, that's the first thing I said to Peyton. I was like, I feel like we could do without that first two scenes.
Thank you.
I feel like I appreciate it now knowing the whole movie. But that Amanda Seyfried clip, I've got to say, she is holding herself with so much grace because did you guys hear of that interview with Cynthia Erivo? When she slammed the other two girls who were auditioning.
I heard about that.
It was an interview with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, and Cynthia Erivo was like, well, thank God it wasn't the two other girls I was auditioning with.
No.
But you don't know who those girls were if Amanda was one of them, because I bet you 1 million people tried out for that part.
Well, she stayed with her.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, though. The way that she said it seems like Amanda Seyfried was probably down to the last two, and she did that interview after the Cynthia Erivo.
I'm just trying to be glass half full.
I know, but I'm like, good for you, Amanda Seyfried, for carrying yourself a class.
Yeah.
Speaking of glass half full, how about Drake?
So Drake is a big gambler. We know he puts all kinds of money on all kinds of things. So in an interview, they asked him, what's the most amount of money you've ever made gambling?
The biggest win I ever had, I was actually in Dave & Buster's. This is a testament to playing in a brick and mortar casino or real casino versus playing on state. I was getting this random girl to call roulette numbers for me. I hit 8 out of 10 numbers. I think by the end of the night, we had won $40 million. It's crazy.
And what is
$40 million?
An extra $40
What Dave & Buster's is this?
In one night.
I always get tickets.
That's what I said. I was like, I don't remember there ever being actual gambling at Dave & Buster's.
Does he need 40 million tickets and he got a little stuffed dinosaur for that?
I did say dollars.
Did you guys see that Drake rented out some club to gamble and listen to Sabrina Carpenter songs? That was it.
I mean, you're Drake. If you want to do what you want to do, I guess that's what's happening.
What do you got on Lizzo, Peyton?
Oh, well, Lizzo, she confronted Young Miami, who is a part of the City Girls rap group. Young Miami went on the Shannon Sharp show and basically made a comment about Lizzo's weight loss. And in the interview with Shannon Sharp, Young Miami is like, can we pick a side? Let's take Lizzo, for example. Before she lost all this weight, everybody was like, ew, gross. And then now she's lost all this weight and everybody's still like, ew, gross. And so Lizzo got onto a live stream and called Young Miami and tried to put her on blast, but she didn't answer.
Oh.
I was like, dang, that would have been crazy. But.
Speaking of ew, gross, what about Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, ew, gross.
Oh my gosh. So, he's got his reality show with his wife, Hilaria, and he opened up about a moment that was really awkward for him when he ran into one of her exes.
I've seen one of the loves of her life naked.
Not the love of her life.
He was one of the loves of her life. He was a very important boyfriend of hers. I mean, we go see him on Broadway, and he was naked. The guy literally turns around, and we were all like, whoa.
You remember this more than I do.
And when you meet him backstage, and you can't pay attention to a word he's saying, then he's looking at me going, yeah, the show and this and that and this. And I'm like, you have a baseball bat that you stuff into your pants every day. How does that work for you?
Wow.
I saw that. I didn't actually hear the audio of that clip. I only saw the headline, and in my head, I was like, why would you want to tell the world this? Like, why is that something that we need to know? But when I hear it in context, it makes a lot more sense.
Right.
Wow.
It's a pretty funny moment because I'm like, how awkward is it running into your significant other's ex in any way, but to see them naked and then have them
On
be
Broadway.
like a wow factor.
I just told my son this story years ago. I was in Mexico at a club with my dad, and there was I was eating a hot dog outside the club. I love Mexican hot dogs, and I spilled mustard and all the salsa down my shirt. And then we went into the club. And as we went into the club, there's a VIP area, and the club's all roped off with stanchions. And there was this dude there by himself, and he's looking at me. And it was Blake's ex-boyfriend before me.
Oh.
And he's Mexican. I was like, hey! And I was drunk. And I was like, hey! Who's your Blake's boyfriend? And he's like, yeah. I go, I'm dating her now, man. And I'm like, oh my God, that guy must have thought, what a I got mustard down my shirt.
Like
My shirt was, a button broke off my shirt, like the second button down. I was just a disaster.
She traded down.
Big time. What about Kelly Clarkson?
Kelly Clarkson just celebrated her 1,000th show. And in it, she did like a little speech on her show, thanking basically everyone that she works with and kind of dropping maybe like a red flag about her personal life.
For 1,000 episodes, we have laughed together, we have cried together with beautiful stories, celebrated and competed together. I've lost alone a lot, and along the way, we found comfort in one another.
I lost a lot.
Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, and she's like, it's okay. But I mean, think about it. Like, since the show started, she went through her divorce. She just had like, I think 20 days where she wasn't even on her show and everyone thought she was missing. And it was like supposedly a family emergency. So she's probably got all that on her mind. But then she's like, listen, we've come through it together. And she just was expressing her gratitude to everyone that works on the show and has been a part of it.
All right, we got Jonas Brothers tickets in about